Yes. Hi guys. This is Sara again. Yes, can you hear me properly and see the screen that I'm gonna use in order to teach you the punctuation marks and conjunctions. So, can you see and hear me properly? Yes. Could you use the chat in order to text me over there in order to make sure that you're following me? Yes, okay, great. And remember, all of you guys, just to make sure that you're able to text me using the chat, because during the class, I'm going to ask a lot of questions, of course. And you need to reply me using the text message, or even during the class or the session, if you have any question, of course, at any time, you can raise your hand. You have a raising hand over there. Then you can simply unmute to talk to me directly if you just have any question, or you need me to clarify something, or you need to know the meaning of something, or even a word which you find it difficult for you, because I'm going to use English all the class for your benefit, of course. So once you have any difficult word, please stop me. Just let me know, text, or even raise your hand in order to speak directly. Okay, this is fine. I guess people are still joining. Not all of them joined yet.
السلام عليكم.
Yes, walaikum salam. Yes, how are you
ازي
doing?
حضرتك؟
بخير. Yes, but could you speak in English, please? Just because, like, for your practice.
Yes, of course.
Yes, how are you doing first?
Fine.
Fine, great. Let me ask you a question before others join. Let us like make use of the time until they join, at least like few seconds. Did you take
Yes, please.
did you just take the IELTS test before?
Not yet.
Still planning.
Yes.
Ah, nice. And how is it going? Is it difficult or what?
I want to tell you something.
Yeah, tell me.
Today's Dr. Muhammad
Mm.
has an interview with me.
Nice. Then, what is the
Another
outcome?
one.
Yes.
Better than the last one.
Yes. Then.
He said to me, you
Hmm.
aren't bad like the first one.
Uh-huh.
Now you aren't
Uh-huh.
but you want to practice more than one time.
Yes, really. Mm. You know, everybody really needs to practice.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, true, really, just to improve your English and always make use of every single second to speak in English, right? So I guess today is a good opportunity for all of you to learn the punctuation marks, conjunctive, and also to practice English, right?
All right. Okay.
Okay, yes, thanks a lot for your participation.
Before anything,
Yes.
it's big honor for me to attend an meeting with you, Mr. Sar. Sorry.
Yeah, sure, sure. I'll introduce myself right now. Okay, so could you just mute your microphone?
Hello?
Yes, thanks a lot. Could
Yes.
you all mute your microphone? Let me just introduce myself, then we can start. And of course, you are free at any time to raise your to use your hand again in order to ask a question. So let me first give like a quick introduction, or in order to introduce myself to know me. For those who don't know me, my name's Sara. I'm working as an IELTS instructor. I'm giving actually these days online courses using Zoom application. And I was working in Emirates for just 7 years. I worked first in RAC International Center as an IELTS instructor and a TOEFL administrator tester too. Then I worked in an IDP called Sara Institute there in Abu Dhabi. just in order to teach IELTS over there. Then only last year I transferred to here to Egypt, to Alexandria, and I started teaching online. And inshallah, after 2 months, I'm going to travel to Saudi Arabia, to Jeddah. So whoever there, just with me. I'm coming there just to give live sessions and online sessions too. I'm going to plan that. So let me just start directly, Mr. Shadi. Right now we are gonna start because I have lots of stuff in order to teach you. So it's time to start directly. But remember to just mute your microphone, please, just to let others hear properly. Okay, let's start. Uh, I'm gonna give you a lot of details or a lot of rules regarding punctuation marks and conjunctions. Punctuation marks like semicolon, comma, question mark, and all of this stuff, or all of these punctuation marks in conjunctions. Conjunctions are the discourse markers, or subordinate conjunctions, coordinated conjunctions, or all the connectors which connect between two sentences. These are what we are calling conjunctions. So let's just start first with the punctuation marks. And I'm gonna start with the easiest one, which is the full stop. I guess most of you know the full stop. It is in order to end a sentence, right? If you have a sentence, simply put a full stop at the end of the sentence in order to finish your sentence, fine? But the issue here really is not regarding the full stop, because I do know actually that all of you know the full stop. But the issue that you need to know where exactly you have to put the full stop. This is so essential to just know. So here, if I show you this example, you see Sara and Salma went shopping at the mall. They bought new clothes. As you can see, actually, this sentence is faulty, is wrong, actually. It has a full stop, okay? This is the end of the sentence. It's fine. This one is correct. But how about the sentence itself? It has a missing full stop. So could anybody tell me where exactly we have to put the full stop? Could you please guess? Just use the chat, please. Could you tell me? Yes, thank you so much. Yes, it is after the mall, at the mall. Here, after the mall, you have to put a full stop. Why? Simply because here, you see here, Salma and Sarah and Salma is what? Is the subject of the sentence. Then went is the verb. Then where is the end of the sentence? The end of the sentence is here. And how did I know? Because I have here a new subject, right? They is a subject. So this one is a new sentence. So once you start a new sentence, remember to put a full stop, right? And start the new sentence after the full stop with a capital letter, of course, right? In order to start a new sentence. So know the full stop, and at the same time know where exactly you have to put the full stop. And this is in order to fix the error which was in the sentences, in the two sentences, right? In order to divide it into two sentences. Or of course, you have another option. Let me also know it in case of being just, yeah. Stop drawing, guys. We need just to concentrate. So listen. Putting a full stop, right, in order to separate the two sentences. And let me also tell you another option of dealing with the two sentences. If you have a sentence in another sentence, remember to have the option of adding like a connector. I can say, and they bought new clothes, right? and make that one as a lowercase one. This also is possible. So in order to make the two sentences together, you just have to cross what? To cross the full stop and put comma and add and. Fine. Or any connector, of course, it depends on the meaning of the two sentences. Fine. So that is. And who can tell me how about the next one? Where exactly you have to put the full stop? You see, before the and, right now, I will tell you, Laura, just wait a minute. Then I will tell you regarding the comma before the and, when we should put the comma before the and when we should not put the comma before and. But right now, let me just know from all of you where exactly you have to put the, yes, thanks a lot, Dr. Fatma. It's here, after hard, you have to put the full stop and then start the new sentence with a capital letter as I did here, or use a connector which can be and, because, or any connector. It depends on the two sentences together. Okay, that's all for this first punctuation mark, which is the full stop. Then let's just move. How about the question mark? It's so easy. Yeah, I guess it's so clear. Question mark is used simply with the questions, right? So once you have a question, you have just to put a question mark. This one is a question mark. So could you please edit this for me? Could you rewrite it with the correct punctuation marks? Because it has two missing punctuation marks, not only one. So who can guess how can we change this one into a perfect one? Okay, house, fun, yes, perfect, very good. So Linda's house, you just have to put a question mark. Then of course, after it will be fun, you just need to put a full stop as Laura suggested. Okay, that's for the question mark that you have to put once you have a question. Are you coming? This is a question, so simply it needs a question mark. That's then exclamation mark. The exclamation mark is like this one. This one is the exclamation mark. It's simply used to express strong emotions, right? Or urgent commands. I mean, like, stop. If I ask you to stop, like I'm teaching, for example, right now, and I don't want anybody to disturb me while teaching, so I can tell, stop doing that. So after stop, I can put an exclamation mark to express my emotion. That emotion can be strong anger, strong surprise, or whatever the emotion is, or a command, of course, that you can ask somebody to tell stop. This is a command, of course. Then also a surprise. This is considered to be a strong emotion. So I can tell wow, right? And once I tell wow like that, just put an exclamation mark. Or the holiday was amazing. I'm feeling very good about the holiday. That it was fantastic. So once I said the holiday was amazing, so you just need to put an exclamation mark. Or see you next time, like that. So once I just make like that, so you just have to use the exclamation mark. Okay, are you following me properly? Yes, I just need to know your comments. Can you hear me properly? Really? Yes, thank you. Okay, so here, let me give you another exercise, guys, just to do, because I know that the punctuation marks for many students are somehow confusing. That's why I tend to give a lot of examples, a lot of exercise to do, because I really need just at the end of this class to fully cover all the punctuation marks and all the conjunctions, all of them. You just need to, you don't need to check any other materials after the class. Nothing, just only the PowerPoint presentation, which I'm gonna share with you at the end of the class, just to help you cover everything regarding this issue. Because as you know, conjunctions actually is so important for something called grammatical range and coherence, which is one of the criteria of evaluating your writing, right? And it's actually 25, sorry, 25 is, yeah, 25, yeah, sorry, 25% of the whole score. So if you guarantee covering all the points regarding the conjunctions and regarding, of course, the punctuation marks, because I do believe that punctuation marks, some of them like commas and semicolons, are so related to the conjunctions. Like when you have and, when you have and, you need just to check what is the punctuation mark, which you need to have it with the conjunction. So I need you to guarantee getting the 25% of the coherence and cohesion, right? So try to concentrate with me, please. Yeah, why you're sad? No, but it is a big percentage, I believe, because the rest is, of course, for grammar, for your grammatical range, for your vocabulary, a lot of other things. So let us today concentrate on only this part, and inshallah I'm gonna give you more live classes as much as I can. I'll do my best, really, because you know I'm so busy actually in my classes, but I'll do my best really to give from time to time, inshallah, a good PowerPoint presentation or like session in order to help you more and more. Okay, thanks a lot for you, Dr. Fatma. What medical power would you like to have? As you can see in the chat, guys, Dr. Fatma answered the question. She put a question mark after the question. Perfect. Okay. Then after the question, only one mistake you have got, Dr. Fatma, that
I have
you,
thought of it. Do you want to know my answer, guess?
excuse me, could you just mute your microphone because I'm just explaining? Could you mute your microphone or let me mute it myself if you can't do it? Yes, I'm sorry guys. I just mute all of you to let everybody understand me. And if you have any question or you don't, or you want me, or you want to talk to me directly, you can just raise your hand simply, please, just to not to disturb others. So again, after the question mark, it's very important to know that you need to put a capital letter. So I, and also the pronoun, the first speaker one or I is always capital, by the way. And also you have to know that after the question mark, you need to use, of course, a capital letter. So it will be something like, wait, give me a second. It will be like that. What medical would you like to have? Then question mark. Then start a new sentence with a capital letter. And I actually is always a capital letter. Then full stop, as Dr. Fatma suggested. Then you have to start the new one with a capital letter again. So do. Then this, do you want? This is a question. So you need just to put a question mark. Then guess, as Dr. Fatma just said, guess should be followed with an exclamation mark. Yes, thanks for you also, Laura and Yasser. Perfect that you did it. Okay, then one more, please. Could you do number two? Let me see who is the first one who are gonna do it in a correct way. Yes, start doing number two, please. Yes, yes, yes. Who can do it perfectly to be the first of the class? Yes, trainer, yes, yes. Yes, speak out, please. You can unmute your microphone and talk to me if you're raising your hand. Hello, you're raising your hand, Mr. Yasser. I guess he just raised his hands by mistake. Okay. Yes. Let me see the first one. You, yes, sir. Yes. What medical power? But we already did this one. This is the next. Yes, here. Some people believe anything is possible. Then full stop. Perfect. Then you started the new sentence with do you? Then comma. Then sorry, question mark. Perfect. Science can't explain anything. Full stop. Would you agree? Perfect. Very good. Excellent. Yes, thanks a lot. So let's see who will do the next one. Also, let me see the first one who are gonna do the next one. Number 3, please. No, do number 3, please. Yes, 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 guys. We already finished number 2, so let's start with number 3, please, because we are gonna take just the first one. If it's correct, fine. Okay. So, Luda, yeah, question mark after week. Can you imagine being able to learn? In a week, yes, question mark, then wow, it should be with an exclamation mark. And once you have wow, you just have wow after the question mark. So you need just to make it a capitalized.
In a week. Wow.
Excuse me? Dr. Yasser, Mr. Yasser, I warned you like 2 times this now, right now. So could you please mute?
Yes.
Yeah, excuse me. Could you mute your microphone because when you speak, everybody is getting disturbed.
Do you hear me, please? Do you
Yeah,
hear me?
I can hear you. I just thought that.
Yeah, because I am so sorry for because the first time to use this program, so I can't do. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Okay, please just press mute.
Yeah, I want to answer, but I can't. I can't because it's the first time to use this program. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and if you want to answer, use the chat. The chat box is over there on the right hand.
Okay, yeah, of course, I would like to answer, but I couldn't. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Okay, thanks a lot for you.
Okay, the next time, inshallah. Next time I will answer, inshallah.
Okay, it's fine. Then is anybody else raising his hands? I guess you, Dr. Muhammad Hajjaj. Are you raising your hands? Yes. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you properly.
Okay, thank you. I think I will put a question mark after a week and exclamation mark after wow.
Yes, great. Yes, perfect. And by the way, missing you our online classes, right? Long time no see.
Long time.
Yes. Okay. Thanks a lot. Okay, so yes, I can see all your chat messages. Yes, this is fine. You participated.
How can I write here? I can't write.
It's there. Chat. Can you see the chat one?
From chat?
Yes.
Yeah, chat.
In order to write.
Where's the chat here?
Yes.
Where's the chat? I can't find.
Please.
Where's the chat?
Just try to search it, please, or you can even
Participant.
just guide
Search
you
for
more.
participant.
Yeah, I found it.
Yes. Okay.
Last.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so back again to our main points. Your question, Laura, is wow. Is a wow a real word or not? You see, the word wow is only used with informal context. I mean, if you are not writing your essay, of course not. If you're just gonna write for your friend or for even someone in your family or something like that, so it's informal context. Just wait. At the end of this session also I will give you also like quick tips regarding the informal context, right, in order to know which ones of these punctuation marks we can never use in the essay, right? But we need to know, of course, because some of you need just to go for the general module, and of course in the general module we have the letter as the part one, and you need to know about good punctuation marks for the informal context. So let's just postpone talking about the informal one later on, but just concentrate with me these at the moment, please. Then comma, the comma, which is actually the most used one. The comma is used just to separate. Fine, separate what? In order to separate introductory words or phrases. Like what? The first example here, like nowadays, then comma. This one is an introductory word and it says like a separate word from my sentence. So you just need, in order to separate this word from the sentence, you need just to put a comma. Oh, another example, first and foremost, you need just to take a placement test. So again, there should be a comma after the introductory word. Another use of the comma, when you have an unnecessary relative clause or what we call it adjective clause. I mean clauses which in which we are using relative pronouns. If you don't know the relative pronouns, like who, which, where, when, that, and all these relative pronouns. So if you are having a relative pronoun, fine, then the clause in which there's a relative pronoun, this clause is unnecessary in the sentence. Unnecessary means it's like extra. It's not essential in the sentence. It gives only extra information. So in this case, remember to use the commas. And you are gonna use, of course, 2 commas in case of having this clause in the middle. So you don't have to put only 1 comma. You just need to put also another comma. Why? Simply because the sentence is Sara gave a lecture. Okay, and the one in between is like extra, unnecessary in the sentence. So in this case, put commas. And this is the second way or the second use of the comma. But for your information, not with all the relative clauses we should put commas. Again, with the unnecessary ones only. Because if the relative clause is necessary in my sentence, no commas are going to be required. Like if I'm gonna say people, I need to say people who live in Saudi Arabia. People who live in Saudi Arabia are experiencing hot weather, for example. So I didn't put any commas for who live in Saudi Arabia, no commas at all, because I'm not talking about all people experience hot weather. No, I'm not. I'm talking only about people who are currently living in Saudi Arabia or who live in Saudi Arabia. So remember again that it is unnecessary only. Put commas in this case. Okay, and 2 commas, of course, in the middle, but only 1 comma and full stop if it comes in the last, of course, at the end of the sentence. Okay. Yes, that is. You got it, Shuru. Yes. Then separate also the names that we are addressing. Like, I remember, Sara. Like, if I asked you a question, do you remember anything. Do you remember, for example, the lesson that I taught you last time? Then you can tell me, I remember Sara. You are addressing, you are talking to me, so you just answering me, then you can tell Sara. So for the person you are addressing, separate this person with one comma, right? And of course, if I have Sara in the middle, I have to separate with two commas, of course, not only one comma. Then my dad ate, mom. So I'm talking to mom, so I'm telling my dad ate, mom, like that. But imagine if I removed the comma here, so it will be totally a different sentence. Yes.
Sorry, we can say, Mom, my dad ate.
Yes.
That's right?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The first or the end, yeah?
Yeah, sure. It's fine. And in some other sentences, even you can have it in the middle with two commas in order to separate it from your sentence. And why punctuation marks are extremely important? Simply because actually they change the meaning of the sentence. Imagine if there is no comma here, what the sentence is going to mean? It will mean my dad ate mom. So this means that there's no mom anymore, right? Just my dad ate her. So imagine how the sentence might change without this comma. So bear in mind, please, if you just want to again talk to somebody and give him a sentence, remember to separate his name from the sentence to address him. Then apostrophes. Similar, really, the same issue. As you can see, all of them are for separating, but just different things. But all of them actually are having the same issue of separating something from your sentence, right? Even here for the apostrophes. So appositive mean is like a noun which gives the same meaning of another noun before it. Like Salma. Who's Salma? Salma, an Emirati teacher. So Salma is the same as an Emirati teacher. So an Emirati teacher is an appositive here. So Salma, an Emirati teacher, taught IELTS. So here, this one with two commas because it comes in the middle. It is unnecessary in the sentence. I just can tell you Salma taught IELTS without even an Emirati teacher. No actually need to know her own nationality. Okay. So this is regarding the comma. What else? Again, the comma is extremely important when we use it with the just conjunctions. But let me just move to here. Conjunctions with the connectors, like as one of you asked me, do we have to put a comma with and or not? In order to know this answer, the answer of this question, you have to check a lot of rules just to decide you have to put a comma or not. This depends on the conjunction itself, and it depends on a lot of other issues. So let me clarify this for you. The comma with the conjunctions. It depends on what type of conjunction, actually. That's why you need to know the different types of conjunctions in order to decide where we have to put the comma. The first type is the coordinating conjunctions, then correlatives, conjunctive adverbs, subordinating conjunctions. As you can see, just the names are so complicated, right? But really, don't get in panic. These are names, right? But whatever the name is, all what you need to know the rules, right? Whatever the name of the group, just divide them into group with your understanding, whatever the name is. So what are the coordinated conjunctions? The first one in the list. They are called fanboys. They call it fanboys simply because every single letter refers to one word, to one conjunction or one connector. F is for then and, nor, but, or, yet, and so on. Fanboys. They are just accumulated together in one word just to help you memorize them. So for this group, you have just
Yeah, great. Great.
oh yes, it's easy, right? Yeah, but actually,
Yeah, great.
but by the way, I'm not the one who created it. Of course, this is universal rule. Yes.
But you like that to tell us?
Yeah. Yes. Of course. Okay. Yes. So fanboys. So
But
yes. Question.
can you please kindly to send us these slides or
Yeah, sure. At the end of the class, I'll upload really this PowerPoint presentation just to guide you more and more, right? Because I do know that
okay.
you might forget. So if you forget, this means that I might feel actually annoyed. So,
Okay.
of course,
Okay. I remind you, inshallah. I remind you.
yeah, of course. Okay, inshallah.
Okay.
So, fanboys again. Let us just start with them. So before telling you the rules, let me give you examples. So you check this example. We worked extended hours, but we could not complete the task. You see, there is a comma here. Then the room was hot. 4, the air conditioner was not working. And 4 means because, by the way. Then all the employees are in the auditorium, so the offices are empty. Again, there is a comma. The meeting started 30 minutes ago. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Why there's a comma before 4?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. Just wait. Wait a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Yet some of the seats are still vacant. So you see here, all these sentences are used with the commas. Why? It is because we follow the fanboys, whatever, which one, fine. For this is the rule that I'm gonna tell you right now. It's not only for but, for, and, or these connectors. It's actually for all the fanboys. So listen carefully. Here, if we follow the fanboys with a complete sentence, what I mean by a complete sentence, I mean subject plus verb. Fine. I mean we could not complete the task. Subject verb, right? This is a sentence, and we call it in English independent clause. Independent clause means that it gives a complete thought. It by reading only this sentence without even reading any other thing, you can understand from this sentence. So this is a complete thought, an independent clause. So once you have an independent clause which can give a complete thought, put a comma. And if you just want to make it more or just much easier for you, have it when you have subject plus verb. Fine, I guess it's gonna be easier now. I mean, the air conditioner was subject plus verb. Fine, so comma, please put for all the fanboys, and but so for all of them. I will answer your question, Lola. Just wait for because I'm gonna tell you the issue of because right now. Okay, I'm so happy, by the way, but with your questions. Really, I'm feeling like you're just excited to know all the other rules and asking me. Yes, great, keep it up. Yes, but just wait, be patient. So here, the comma please should be used with the fanboys when they are followed with a complete thought. Then how if the case is not like that, if it's followed by not a complete thought, like this one? The new building is extremely modern and innovative. No commas should be preceded, or should precede, sorry, the and. Why? Because innovative is not a sentence. Innovative actually is an adjective. It doesn't give a complete thought. What if I read innovative? Okay, fine. What innovative? It's not actually a sentence at all. So in this case, no commas are required. Please. Again, another example. She wanted to eat fish or chicken. Again, chicken is not a sentence. So no comma is required. Then the last rule regarding the fanboys is when you have a list of items, when you just have, I'm studying English, Arabic, Chinese, and French. This is like a list of items, right? I'm giving more than one element in a list, in a series. So in this case, what you have to do, what commas you have to use. You need to separate.
Please,
Yes. Mhm.
why didn't we put comma before and French?
Why we don't put comma here?
Yeah, here.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
So you see, English, comma, Arabic, comma, Chinese, no commas, and then French. Before the last item, there is no comma as I did here, right? This
Okay.
is like the most common rule for many, but for your information, even if you go for putting a comma, it's okay, fine. It's optional, by the way, but only for this rule, okay? It's optional
Yeah,
because it depends.
it's optional, eh?
Yeah, some really I've seen in Oxford dictionary it's with a comma, but in another dictionary it's not with a, is it without a comma? So you
But
have the option.
if I write in IELTS essay, if I write comma before and, it's okay or not
But only
in
here,
writing?
only here, okay? Again, I'm
Only.
stressing, yes, I'm stressing the
Oh,
issue of having a series, having elements like that. The comma at the
mm.
end is optional. But all the
Okay.
others, no, please, fixed rules, nothing else, fine? So,
Okay.
but yes. But you know what? I didn't put a comma simply because I don't want to confuse all of you. So listen, let's have one rule better. No need for the comma before the last item. But just have it as same as this one, right? Like modern and innovative. And we
Mm.
don't put a comma here because it's only an adjective, right? And again here French only, so it's only one word and it doesn't give a complete thought. So no commas again. Just let's have a like, I'm trying my best to not to confuse you
Yeah.
because
Yeah. The last one is optional, but the
yeah.
and derivative is not.
Yes, that
Mm.
is. Thanks a lot. So let me hear your question, Sharu. Appear at the comment before. It is followed by a verb, ate chicken and played. No, listen. When you tell I ate chicken and played football, actually no commas at all because played is only a verb. Played football. It does not give a complete thought at all. Played football. So no commas, please, is required. True. So once you have incomplete one, whatever it is, right? It's an adjective only, noun only, or even a verb as what she wrote here, played football again. Played is a verb which is not giving a complete thought, of course. Only put a comma when you have a subject plus verb, please. Okay, that's for the fanboys. Okay, yes, welcome. Then let's move to the correlatives and concentrate with me, please, because I'm gonna ask you questions, by the way, just after some time to see are you following me or not. So concentrate, guys. So number 2, correlatives.
Well, sorry.
Mhm.
What about four? Why put comma before four?
Again, because the same issue of having the air conditioner was subject plus verb.
Yeah, but we can do that and we write because without comma.
No. Only for the fanboys. Okay, because I will tell you about regarding the word because. I'm talking, guys,
Yeah,
about only but, and, so, yet, or not. Nor, sorry. Okay, only the fanboys.
yeah. I mean that I can delete four and use because without comma.
Could we postpone because? Yeah, we use because without commas, but could you postpone it? Do not to confuse others, please.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
nice. Thanks for your understanding.
Yeah.
You see, Laura, if you have three verbs, yes, before the last verb, there is no comma. Again, the same issue of a list. When you have like a series or like whatever it is either nouns or verbs or even phrases without giving complete thoughts, no commas. Okay, I mean commas to separate them, but there is no comma at the end, just to make it clear for all of you. Okay, and one rule that it's optional, only the last comma is optional. Okay, not all the other things. Okay, so do you have any questions regarding fanboys before I move? Yes, yes. Even if it's not a complete thought, but here, you know, why logically why you put commas here, although Arabic is not a complete thought, because here, like English, Arabic. Imagine if I having them all after together without commas. Logically, it doesn't give sense, right? You just need to separate. But the issue of having complete thought and independent clause, and the issue that I just or the rule that I told about earlier, is regarding only having a sentence. Think about having complete sentence or not, only when you have sentences. But if it's only one sentence and you're giving like a list, so remember to separate your items in the list in order to be clear for everybody. This is the purpose of using comma just with the fanboys only. Then, okay, it seems that the fanboys are just clear now. Okay, then let's just move to correlatives. Correlatives coordinate conjunctions, but they are in pairs. And pairs means like either or, both and. These are correlatives, neither nor, not only, but also as, whether or. These ones, just to link between the sentences, I just included here for you to use in IELTS essay, of course, just to enhance your own score. They are actually great to be used. And if you're gonna use them like that, you see, she's both intelligent and beautiful. No commas actually are required, right? You see here all the examples. I only used here, wait, here there's a comma because it's a separate one, right? You see, whether he comes or not, we will begin the party. So this one is a separate one from my sentence, of course, that's why I put a comma, but otherwise there's no comma actually is required here. Okay, so have them please in your writing to enhance your own score. But whenever you have them, let me just give you a rule which is related to the here with this group, the correlatives. It's not related to the idea of punctuation marks, but let me tell you about it as long as I mentioned about correlatives. And tell you about a very common mistake, really, which I've seen, like, I'm not gonna tell you 1,000, but really many times while marking the essays, which is parallelism. It's a very common mistake because I do know that not all of people know it. So let me just show you it. You see, parallelism, what does it mean? It means a balance between what is before and what is after. Once we have correlatives, remember to care about parallelism, please. And also, once you have, or even the fanboys also care about parallelism. So listen here, see, Clara not only wants money, but also fame. This sentence is faulty. is wrong actually. Why? Because it has no parallel structure. Parallel mean balanced. Here, as you can see, verb plus noun. Then how on the other side? Noun only. So this one is faulty. It's wrong actually. And in order to correct it, you have two ways. The first one is to keep the noun in order to be in a parallel structure with the word fame. Clara not wants not only money but also fame. Noun plus noun. In this case, it will be correct. It will be with a parallel structure. Again here, Clara not only wants money but also wants fame. Also, this is another way of correcting this faulty sentence. Here, we just used verb plus noun, then another verb plus noun. So this is a related rule regarding the use of fanboys and correlatives. Bearing it in mind, please, along with the punctuation marks and the connectors, think about having a parallel structure, please. Okay. Okay, that's regarding the correlatives. Then let's just move to the conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs are, after all, next, as a result, consequently, all these words which are in the list are conjunctive adverbs. And there are even much more, but I only included here the most common ones which we usually use a lot in writing our essays, right? We use furthermore, moreover, in addition, consequently, all these conjunctive adverbs you need to include. And once you have them, you have to check the punctuation marks, because you can't have it just like in your sentence, haphazardly, right? No, you have to use it with correct punctuation marks. Because yes, writing conjunctions or connectors is perfect, but again, you should use it correctly, because it's not about only putting conjunctions or connectors and that's it. No, you should put correct punctuation marks. And also, let me stress one important point, that you need to check also the meaning, please. Because again, one of the very common mistakes students are doing is that they are writing just connectors without its own correct meaning. So remember to know the meaning of each single one. So imagine if somebody wrote in anywhere, for example, something like, let's say, my mother is beautiful, for example, and let's say she is miser or whatever. If the child is just talking about his mother or whatever, so how can he tell beautiful and she is miser? This is incorrect, because it doesn't give sense. How can I use and with two opposite adjectives, being a miser and beautiful? This actually doesn't give sense. So you should use the correct connector. So when once you say beautiful, so say but miser. So just to have a correct one, you need to use but. Or if you just want to use and, so she's beautiful and intelligent, just to give another positive one. So, and it's the same case for all the connectors, guys. Once you have any of the connectors, remember to have it correctly with its own correct purpose. I've seen also in the essay before, students writing like something like therefore, and they gave like an addition, another idea, and they used therefore. No, actually, therefore is not for giving another idea. Therefore is to give a consequence of something. So check the meaning of all of them. And I suggest that at the end of the class, you can have all of them, because I included here all the conjunctions, all of them that you can use. Okay, and the most common ones, and no need actually to study anymore, really. This is fair enough just to get a good score in this criteria. So study them and have them just in front of you. Try to understand the meaning of each one of them. Then write them in sentences in order to make sure that you can understand fully the meaning of each one of them. And don't overuse. Again, this is another common mistake. Overusing the connectors is not also a good idea. Don't tell something like, I taught English, and let's say whatever, I taught my own child. Moreover, I gave presentation. Therefore, I decided to share the presentations with others. Consequently, this is not good at all. Just don't overuse them, right? Use them, of course, but effectively and with a moderate way, right? Not exaggerating in using them. So just like three, for example, three per paragraph, like that, just to be logical and to be organized. No. For only fanboys and for the conjunctions, please. Not the conjunctions, I mean the correlatives. Regarding the idea of having a parallel structure, I can tell that he is intelligent, and what, for example, and cooks well. This is incorrect. Once I said intelligent as an adjective, I must give another adjective just to be in a parallel structure. Okay, so bear it in mind, please. Okay, so back to the point. Conjunctive adverbs. So how can we punctuate them? Just before knowing here, or let me tell you the punctuation marks first, then I'll give you in detail like categories of them. So listen, how to punctuate them? You need just to put a comma after all the conjunctive adverbs. All of them are followed by a comma. And if you start your sentence with a conjunctive adverb, remember to put a full stop before it because it's a new sentence. And you should start it with a capital letter, of course. So in the beginning, there should be a comma. Okay. Yes, but Kiriga, about grammar, of course, right? Studies hard and cooks well. Okay, then here, listen here. Put a comma after it and put a full stop if you just need to start a new sentence. The next rule is you can do what? You can omit this full stop and put instead a semicolon. This is also possible. It's fine to do like that. Put a semicolon, then put a comma in order to connect between the two sentences together. And of course, once you do so, there is no capital letter, right? Of course, there should be a lowercase letter. And of course, yes.
Sorry. We can put full stop before therefore, and we start with capital letter or not?
Yeah, sure.
Therefore.
Yeah, sure. This is the rule for
any conjunctive adverbs. We can use semicolons or full stop.
Yes.
All conjunctive adverbs.
Yeah, all the conjunctive adverbs.
Yeah, we can write however above. However, we can put semicolon.
Yeah, sure.
Before the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that is. So for all the conjunctive adverbs here, please use a full stop to start a new sentence or use a semicolon instead. And of course, if you have a semicolon and if you have a full stop, remember to have a complete sentence, right? Festival was cancelled. It was cancelled. So here is the complete sentence, of course. This is okay for all the conjunctive adverbs. However, the for, furthermore, and all of them. And in regards to the use of the semicolon, let me also tell you about it because I've seen students are using it. You see, the semicolon can be used alone, by the way, without connector, to connect between two sentences. Just I can tell the weather was rainy, semicolon, the festival was cancelled. But listen, it's very confusing having a semicolon alone. Okay, and actually it has so many rules that the two independent clause must be very related to each other in order to have only semicolon. So avoid. Okay, no need for this confusing rule. So don't have the semicolon alone, because and it's also not very recommended for most of us testers. So no need. Okay, use the semicolon alone with the, sorry, use the semicolon only with the conjunctive adverbs. Otherwise, no need for it. Please don't have it alone. No need for it. Then the last rule regarding the conjunctive adverbs, that you can have it in the middle again, but with two commas here, not a semicolon, a comma. Why? Why I put here commas, but there I put semicolon? You see, if you quickly check the two sentences, here, these are two sentences. So I put a semicolon to connect between the two sentences, fine. But the last example here is only one sentence. It's not two sentences. So I'm having it here is like an interruption word only. The sporting event offered a discount. So comma, comma, just to interrupt my sentence only. So, and this is of course applicable for all the conjunctive adverbs. So, okay, is that clear? Are you getting lost or not yet? Is it easy or not? Let me ask you before going astray. I'm feeling like worried just to feel bored or something, or getting astray. So listen, could all of you write for me a good example for having a conjunctive adverb in the beginning? Let me see the examples. Start, please, and I will read the first one. Excuse me to read only the first one because you're so many, mashallah. So write quickly, please. Let me see a first good example about using the conjunctive adverbs in the beginning of the sentence with a full stop. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Yes, who can do it?
Sorry, what about the word moreover? What does it mean here in the last sentence?
Moreover, it means in addition. When you want to add something, of course, there was a sentence before that, right? I mean, there's like another sentence. It was like the sporting event was for, like, for example, what item clothes, full stop. Then it moreover offered the discount. Understand? It's like addition for what I told earlier. Adding information. It's used when you want to add information.
Sorry again if
It's
I
used
want
when
to
you
post.
want to add information. So it's like moreover here, but of course there was a sentence before that, right? Because
Yeah.
once you have moreover, this means that I told a sentence earlier. Fine. I mean, listen, if I'm just talking about I'll support a group. So I'll support a group offers marking services. Full stop. It moreover what gave free lectures for everybody to attend. So I said moreover just to add something related to what I told earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
start giving, please.
Yeah. Means that there's something else. There's a sporting event offers something else, and moreover offer the discount.
Yes, just like that. I said something, then I added
Yeah.
that for this. Okay, yes, thanks a lot for you. Then
Okay.
who's Ahmed, who's like requesting remote control? Are you Ahmed Said or who are you? Let me just know. Hello, who's requesting the control? Hello. Yeah.
It was me.
Are you
By the
ready?
error.
Sarah, it was by okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay, so let me look at your examples. You wrote here, although he's smart, he failed the exam. Your here example, Laura, is good, but although is not one of the conjunctive adverbs. I'll be back for the conjunctive adverbs if you didn't study them yet. Yes, here are the adjective. Fine, the conjunctive adverb, sorry. So although is not one of them. I will tell you the rules regarding although right now. Just wait a second. Instantly, I met friends while I was shopping. Yes, thanks a lot for your example. Yeah, so yes, perfect. Because instantly here with a comma. Why? Because instantly is one of the conjunctive adverbs. Okay, which is written here, but of course check the spelling of it, please. My friend was waiting for me to go for shopping. However, I had changed my mind and decided to go to the cinema. Yes, however, then comma, perfect. Very good, guys. So once you have any one of the conjunctive adverbs in the beginning, remember to have a comma after it. Then let's have another example with the semicolon, please. It's the same issue, really, but all what you need to do is to replace.
Sorry, sir.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Let me just complete this. Then you can ask. Then you can just write an example, omitting the full stop and putting on a semicolon in between. Yes, question?
Yeah, that's what I want to ask.
Okay.
I can also, the word, however, we can put before all the conjunctive adverbs full stop or semicolon before the conjunctive adverbs. That's right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes, write an example, please. Yes. Who else? Let me see the most active participant who is like writing a lot of examples, participating. I guess you, Mr. Yasser, is the only one who just have been asking me a lot of questions. The most active participant. Is your name Yasser, right? Are you Mr. Yasser? You're just asking me only a second ago.
And what about me, Mr.
Yes, could you tell me your name, please?
I'm Ahmed Saeed.
Oh my God, I can't tell anything about you. You are like well known. The most active participant in IELTS support group, mashallah, right? Yes. Great. Nice talking to you, by the way, directly, because we have been talking together, like only chatting, right? But I haven't experienced talking to you directly. So nice meeting you over here.
More easy.
Yes. Okay, great. Thanks. So again, let me see your examples. Here, yeah, Egypt compared to many people for doing quite. On the contrary, UAE. Okay, once you have on the contrary, because it's one of the conjunctive adverbs, shuru. So you have just to put a semicolon before it and a comma after it. Remember to include a comma before the UAE, of course, Emirates, my lovely country. So on the contrary, there should be a comma. Then start a new sentence. And of course, your sentence here, the UAE, they again, no, here you have like two subjects. This is wrong, right? The sentence itself needs some efforts from you to fix it grammatically, please. But in regards to the punctuation marks, put a semicolon and comma after on the contrary. Then, but in the beginning, no. See the word but. Let us postpone it right now. I will tell you what is but in the beginning. But for now, please don't have but in the beginning. Let me see your use of however. I was, however, tired. Yes, perfect, really. You used however with a comma, comma before and after it in order to have it in your sentence. Great. Yes, this is all for the conjunctive adverbs. And only these ones. I'm giving you rules for each category, not all of them. I mean, don't apply these rules with any of the other connectors because each group has specific rules. Like, let me give you like a quick summary about what I've told you just first. Fanboys. Fanboys in the middle of the sentence, there should be a comma before it in case of being followed with a complete sentence, subject plus verb. Otherwise, no commas before it. And when you have a list, of course, separate the first items. The second, the correlatives, either or, neither nor. When you have them in the middle, no commas at all. Then, the conjunctive adverbs. Have them in the beginning with a comma. All of them followed by a comma, as you can see. All of them are followed by a comma. But remember to check what is before. If you are starting a new sentence, put a full stop. But if you are having a conjunctive adverb in the middle, remember to have a semicolon in case of having a complete sentence after it. But if it's only an interruption word, interruption means that it is interrupting my sentence. I have only one sentence. I don't have two sentences like this one. I have only one sentence, but this one is interrupting it. So put a comma, comma in order to have it. The weather is raining. Okay, raining, only one. And then as a result, I want to go out. It is raining right now, so I want to go out. Yes, as a result, I want to go out. Yes, it's a correct one here. Okay, this is fine. And I categorized them here for you to understand. I gave you them all in one like slide in a list. But here I decided just to separate them according to the meaning in order to guide you more. For here, if you want to add information, so use these ones. These are conjunctive adverbs. And I included him here in the beginning because it's the most common one. But of course, even these ones can be in the middle, as I told you earlier. For the contrasting ideas, opposite ideas, use however, nevertheless, in contrast, and all these ones. For giving results, you can use therefore, accordingly, or one of these words. To emphasize a point, to give an emphasized point, so you can tell definitely, then a comma to separate it from my sentence. Indeed, indeed, certainly, in fact. Then if the example, you just need to say, for example, then a comma. For instance, a comma again. Just to give an example. To conclude, I mean, in the conclusion, you can tell to conclude, and in conclusion, which as I've mentioned here, that they are the best because they are clear, right? Clear to be used. But all the others are correct, but they are not so recommended in giving conclusions. So remember to include, to conclude, or in conclusion, and followed by a comma, because it's again having the same rule of having a conjunctive adverb in the beginning. This one is a separate word that you need to separate it from your sentence. So in conclusion, then comma. Expressing opinions, you just need to separate also the words like from my perspective, then a comma, because this is separate from your sentence if you just tend to give your own opinion. Or in my personal view, or as far as I'm concerned. So don't forget this comma please, once you write your opinion, especially in your IELTS essay, right? But of course, if you have a sentence, you need to give your opinion. Of course, no commas are required, just only for the introductory words for giving opinions. Then lastly, last but not least, right, the subordinating conjunctions, which you have actually asked me about, the word although, as you wrote earlier. And you asked also me about because, although, if, since, for, before, except, all these words are called subordinating conjunctions or subordinators. Again, they have different rules regarding the comma, totally different than the rules that I told you about with the conjunctive adverbs. That's why you need to categorize your understanding for the conjunctions. But just to be honest with you, you don't need to have like all of them ready. I mean, no need to study all of them, of course. Just study some which you will use, right? For each group of idea. I mean, if you need to express, for example, addition, if you need to add information, so you can memorize only two or three, fine, that's fair enough. No need to study all of these conjunctions. But I just included here, of course, for you to know all of them, and you have the choice of choosing whichever you like, right? Because in the exam, it's impossible actually to write all of these ones in only the 250 words of your essay, or the 150 of your letter or the graph, right? So only study some of them. So back to the point, subordinating conjunctions. How to punctuate them? Simply, once you have one of them, remember to include a comma in the middle of the two sentences. There should be a comma. Here, there is a written example for the word because, but this rule is not only for because, it's for all the subordinating conjunctions. For if, before, although, even though, all of the subordinating conjunctions. Please have them with a comma in the middle of the two sentences to separate them. But if you have it in the middle, not in the beginning? If you have because or any of the subordinated conjunctions, no commas should be please here in the sentence. No commas at all. And that can be seen here with the examples. I included here examples for the most common subordinated conjunctions. And as you can see, when I try to give a sentence with one of the subordinated conjunctions in the middle, no commas at all. But once I have one of them in the beginning, so the comma should be used, should be placed here, right? As you can see. Okay, and because since as, of course, they are having the same meaning here, that's why I put them with like a slash. So have a look on these examples and write me yours. I want you, all of you, I need to see more participants. Up till now, I've seen only Shuru, right? Hanan, Yasu, Laura, nobody else, right? But I need just to see all of you writing for me examples. Yes, start please. Write a sentence, at least one sentence, using one of the subordinating conjunctions, whether in the middle or in the beginning. It's up to you. Start, please. Yes, yes, yes. Where are your good examples? Hurry up. Mm. Yes, good example, Hanan. Although it is raining, my friends decided to hang out. Okay, again. Although I don't want to travel abroad, I'm sure I would be obliged to do so. Yes, I guess so. We are all experiencing the same miserable life. But alhamdulillah, we have to thank God, right, for everything. No complaints. He missed the train because he wake up late. Yes, perfect. Although he's rich, he always cries. Yes. Yes. Hello, Dr. Ahmed, by the way. Happy to see you over here again. Yes. 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 We're actually having like a class only like 1 hour ago, so it's fine to just to. Okay, to see you over here again. Nice. Then I'm watching Real Madrid watch. Yes, Madrid what match? Yes, you're a good football fan, by the way. As a result, I cannot participate. No, listen, Ahmed. You see here, as a result, here is one of the conjunctive adverb. It's not one of the subordinating conjunctions. You can't see them in the list after the class. I will let you check all of them because I know right now you didn't experience studying them. That's why you're getting mistakes. So listen. As a result is one of the conjunctive adverbs. So in order to use it, you have to put a semicolon before as a result and then a comma after as a result. Okay, again, yes, Dr. Sama Alhamdulillah, yes. Happy to see you, you too. I guess half of you I already told before. Yes, great.
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, thanks, Dr. Sama. So he plays football although he is so tired. Yes, it's perfect because although in the middle, without commas, after I had studied English, my father came. Good. If I don't study harder, I won't be traveling anytime soon. Yes, you just need to get the required score in order to travel. I hope you all get it, inshallah, very soon. And let me know, guys, all of you, once you get your results, share it with me. And I'm gonna share also my page. Oh yes, I know. Yes, Egyptians, Egyptian style. Yes.
Egyptian Eden.
Yes. I guess nobody else knows this idiom. It's only for us.
Just Egyptian.
Yeah. Okay, so here I'm buying new shoes. Okay, or new shoes as plural noun. Then as soon as have yes, you have enough money. Yes, perfect. As soon as is in the middle without comments again. Homework as well as creativity are important in teaching. Yes, perfect. Yes, thanks a lot for all of you, really perfect participants. I'm really so pleased, really, to teach all of you. So we finished all the conjunctions now. We have just only few more rules, but not regarding the comma. We finished everything regarding the comma. You see, very simple, I guess. Really, all what you need to do is to study hard in order to find the issue or completely understand the points. Yes, Ahmed Ibrahim, I don't know, is that you or not? Are you Ahmed Ibrahim whom I know or not? Students must study hard if they want to move abroad. If in the middle without commas, yes. Fine. Okay, so you see, uh, I guess it's not complicated, guys. I hope that you can find it easy now. I know that really a lot of people are complaining about a lot about the commas, but believe me, it's not hard as that way. Just only all what you need really just to check. And as I did here, is really I summarize them briefly with examples. So I guess you don't have any excuse these days. After the class, if you still telling that the punctuation marks are hard, I think actually no excuse will be accepted because everything is like clear now by showing the examples, and you even participated by good examples. So let me move to the other one, the apostrophe. It's also one of the punctuation marks that you need to know about, and it's very easy. Is just to show contractions. I mean, in order to, I mean, instead of saying he is, you can say he is. He is a doctor. This is contraction. You can have this apostrophe if you just need to contract your own word. Then you can also have this apostrophe if you just want to show possessions, like possessiveness, like this one. This is my mother's car. This car is for my mother. So my mother's car with apostrophe S to show that this car is for my mother. Or if the word that you need to write the apostrophe for is already ending with S, so if you just put an apostrophe, don't put apostrophe then again S. No, there's no S, of course, only the apostrophe because it is already ending with S. So no another S is required. Okay, so the apostrophe, as you can see, for again contracted form or possessiveness. This is regarding the apostrophe. Then the colon. It's not very common, but have an idea about it because you might need it. It's like to give an explanation about what you said. Like, I learned many subjects. So you need to tell what are the subjects. So you can put like a colon, English, Arabic, French, and science, like that. This is the colon, just to precede the explanation in a list like that. And then quotation marks. When you give a direct quotation, it's like study hard, my teacher said. I need to give the quotation or the speech of my teacher. So you can simply do what is to put quotation marks, these commas, we are calling it inverted commas, these ones. Then start the first letter, of course, in a capital letter, then put a comma if you just need to complete, of course, with who told this speech. Or if you just want to tell who told this speech or said it, you can just start with something like, Sara said you have to study hard. Then, of course, there should be a comma here because Sara said, comma, separate, right? Then tell what she said with quotation marks. Okay, you see, that's all for the punctuation marks and conjunctions. And one final point, let me just highlight for all of you, just to know here before leaving, the issue of regarding the question of whom asked in the beginning, somebody asked me, is the word wow is a word which we can use in writing in our essays or not? No, remember to differentiate that between the formal and the informal. The essays are always formal. You have to keep it formal. You don't have to use any informal items or punctuation marks or even whatever. So what are the informal punctuation marks that you can never use it in order to have a good essay? The informal ones is the exclamation mark. This one, the exclamation mark. Don't ever have it in your essay. When you have to use it only if you are writing to your friend, to, for example, for the letter, only for people who are going to take the letter. The letter is task 1 for the general module. But people who are just going to take the academic module, so no need for actually for the issue of the informal. So only whoever is going just to take the informal letter or going to go for the general module, remember that the question or the exclamation mark is not used for the essay. Please, it's only used for the informal context only. Context like letters or like when you talk to chat with your friends or whatever, right? What else? Question. The question mark is very informal. Don't use it. It's informal and it's not required for the essay, please. The informal one also is when you have fanboys, you still remember them, but all of these fanboys, don't ever have them in the beginning of the sentence. Because once you have them in the beginning, like that, they are extremely informal. You don't actually have to have it in your essay at all. Just have the fanboys in the middle of your sentences in the formal essays, only in the middle. But in the beginning, it is extremely informal again. And also one final point regarding the fanboys, they are fine to be used in the middle, as I told you earlier, but don't exaggerate in using them, please, because they have more advanced ones, right? Instead of saying, so I can tell therefore, it's gonna be more advanced. So it's fine to use but some of the fanboys, but don't exaggerate. Don't make all your connectors with only the fanboys. You have to vary, right? And also remember to not to have them too much, especially the fanboys. But otherwise, you are free. Okay, examples regarding what? Could you please clarify for me? What do you mean by an example for what? If you mean for the fanboys here, I mean don't tell and it offers, it offers free classes, full stop. If I'm talking about any institute or any group, it offers free classes. So, and in the beginning with a comma, no, it's informal in this way. So don't have it in the formal essays. Have it only in the informal letters in the general module tests. When you want to have and in your essay, remember to have it only in the middle, as I told you earlier. And like that, or and without a comma, it depends. It makes why? Because here there was, of course, another sentence before that. The sentence before was like, as I told you earlier, I'll support. You know, I'm doing good marketing for I'll support right now. I'll support the group offers help for everybody who are going to travel to Canada. Full stop. Then and it offers free classes. So now it gives meaning to you, Loda? Yes, okay, great. So there was, of course, a sentence before that. Fine, and it's all, of course, for all of them. Full stop. Then but, comma, extremely informal. Don't have it in this way in your essay again. What else is extremely informal for what I have told you right now from all the things that I have taught you? Also, I've taught you how to use the contraction with a like that, his, with the apostrophe, right? This one is informal. Don't ever do it in your essay. If you want to use he is like that, have it in a complete form. Write it he is. Don't have it in a contracted form, because it's important to have formal essays in order to get a higher score. This is essential for your writing. So, okay, and some more connectors that you need just to know about. The connectors which are followed by noun. Let me also tell you about, because as I told you earlier, I don't want you to check any other things. I just want you to be full concentrated and to not to really to get confused or something. So listen, because of, due to, despite, in spite of, for your information, this one I didn't teach you. All these ones are followed by verb plus ing or noun, a gerund or a noun. So I can tell because of being quiet, as I can see here, you're so quiet participant, by the way. I've given actually so many classes, but I've seen people more active, by the way. But anyway, because of being quiet, I can give.
Your voice making us sleep.
Really? Why? Are you really sleeping? It's the end of the day, you see. So you have to like give me an excuse, right? Okay, nice. Yes, you're focusing. I know, really. I know. I was just joking, really. Good that actually that you're quiet and you're full, like you are all ears, as they are always telling. All ears means that you are like full concentrating with me. I'm so happy with that. So you see here, because of being quiet, I just used here verb plus ing, or I can also use noun, like due to the bad weather, I got a flu. Full stop. That's in case of having, like, if you want to get like higher score, right? You need to show off to the examiner that you don't only know the rules of the conjunctive adverbs and all these connectors, you also know the rules of the connectors which are followed by verb plus ing and nouns, and that is of course great just to know. Okay, that's all for this lesson. I hope you just find it interesting and not boring or like sleeping as as you told earlier. Yes. Where are you talking? I is capital. I is always capital. Okay, because it's the pronoun I is always capital, but otherwise no capitalization after the comma, of course. Like for example, if I told he, there's no capital letter for only I. Yes, thanks a lot for all of you. Really, thank you, Dr. Fragman. Thank you for all of you. Thanks, and just all what you do have just to do that. Please check that the PowerPoint presentation that I will share with you, this one, in order to revise, right? Okay, I don't want you to thank me. Never, really. It's okay for me. I'm so happy, actually. I'm the one who is grateful, really. I'm so happy to meet all of you.
لا يا فندم، ده احنا عاوزين نشوف حضرتك على راسنا من فوق والله.
الله يخليك. Yes, you know, I'm speechless. Oh my God, thanks a lot. But really, you know, the big thank you for me is just to study and have a good score after, and covering the points of the punctuation marks, please. And don't tell anybody else that the punctuation marks is like a horrible one or whatever. Yes. Okay. Thanks a lot for all of you. Have a good night and see you in the next video, inshallah. I'm going to do
Sara.
my best, really. Yes. Tell me.
Facebook Messenger. Please check it.
Yes, okay, I'll do. Yes. Okay, thanks a lot and nice meeting you again. Yes, thanks a lot for all of you. Yes, have a good night. Bye bye. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. Bye bye. Yeah, I will upload it inshallah to the group. Okay, great.
Sarah, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure. Feel free.
Concerning the listening and the reading part, is the capital letters in the beginning of the start the word or like names or something like that taking in consideration, or in writing only?
And right, and also in listening and reading, of course, but only with the proper nouns.
Yeah, I know,
But don't care
we,
about the capitalizations with your. You mean like if there is a and, you should care about.
no. If it's a noun or something or some a word which should start with a capital letter.
Yeah, of course. Study the proper nouns. We're calling it proper nouns to start it with a capital letter. But otherwise, in listening and reading, you're lucky that there is no comma, right? No semicolon, nothing. All what you need just to write the answer. So,
but if I wrote the word correctly, but in not in a capital, is it will be true or false answer?
you see, some tend to write all in capital letters to avoid the issue of having like an error. All in capital letters.
All?
Oh yeah, all the letters in the word, not only the first letter. I mean, if you just need to write
yeah
a word like
you mean all the letters in capital?
Yeah, in capital letters. This is a good approach. It's fine. Or otherwise, you can write all in lowercase except the proper nouns. I mean, names of the places or people, right? Like that. Okay. Yes, any other questions regarding our session today? Punctuation or connectors?
No, it was very helpful.
Yes, okay, great. Yes, thanks a lot. Okay, goodbye, guys. Bye-bye.